I don't know about you, but I'm thinking that for $900 a month, I could wear a skirt. 3 men, 5 headlines, no warning, no rules. It's a right angle lightning round brought to you by the members of BillWhittle.com. Can you feel the excitement? Good. Click that like button. Click that notification button, that 5-star button, that little heart button, whatever you got. Click it.
Push all the buttons.
Yeah, push them all. Let God sort them out. I don't know what that means. It just felt right in the moment. All right. Without further ado, let's see, Bill, according to my notes, we're starting with you this week. Los Angeles agrees to proposal to spend $3 billion. I love giving you the Los Angeles stories. To spend $3 billion to house its massive homeless population. Now, I did the math on this one, Bill. There are approximately 59,000 homeless people in Los Angeles County. So Los Angeles plans to spend about $51,000 on each of them. And the median income in the United States is about $51,400 before taxes. Is it any wonder that people are so pissed off?
How much per person did you say?
About $51,000 per homeless person
year?
on this project.
I can move some. I can move some books to the garage and free up a couple rooms at that rate. Easy to joke about it, but the tragedy of it is, I saw an interview with a man who runs a mission in downtown Los Angeles for the homeless. He lost a leg to plague or gangrene or something like that, which he contracted when he was out there walking the streets of Los Angeles, got bit by an infected rat, I think it was. He genuinely lost his leg. And he was looking at this, and City of LA has been spending something like $300 million a year for the last 10 years, and on homeless housing, specifically housing for low or no income people. You know how many housing units they built in I don't know, 10 years of $300 million each?
If it's anything above zero.
It's not.
It's not.
Wow.
It's not anything above zero. It's zero. And you have to ask yourself, the mystery is not that people will steal this money. They're talking billions of dollars, just gone. Where'd it go? I don't know. That's not a mystery. The mystery is why we put up with it. That's the mystery. That's the part I can't understand. Why the people who have been victimized by these criminals and frauds for generations continue in large part to vote for them. That's the mystery to me. It goes to the power of the media, the power of social proof. Zoe and I talk about this quite a lot. The reason that so many people continue to vote themselves into these horrific situations is because someone's managed to convince them that voting for Republicans would be worse. Okay, we don't have a world that's free of data. We just have a world that's free of wisdom. And the data is out there, Steve. All of the cities that are not just homelessness, crime, and urban decay, all of it, all run by Democrats, in most cases for 5 decades or longer. And of all of the cases that are out there, to me, the one that's the most clear is New York City. I mean, my dad was a hotel manager in New York City in his very beginning and the very end of his career. And in 1979, he made it crystal clear to me that there were places here that you should not cross this street, after dark. You need to stay on this side of this line. Then all of a sudden you elect a Republican for mayor, and next thing you know, Times Square is like Riverwalk. It's like lit up at 3:00 in the morning, and people walking there with their kids. Not the slightest problem at all. And everybody says, "Oh wow, everything looks great. Let's go back to our inclination and elect some progressives or socialists who are going to make us feel good." And then everything goes to hell again. What do you say? But I'm not surprised. It just means more money is going to disappear down the gaping gutter of dismay that this city's become.
Yeah, you mentioned Times Square. You can actually find this online. Hell, Tony Bourdain even said this, that he actually missed the days where Times Square was infested by addicts, pushers, and hookers because it was more authentic.
Yeah,
authentic
that's a kind of comment that a multimillionaire D-bag who goes from limousine to one place to another would say.
Yeah, Sodom was authentic as well.
Yeah. What a horrible,
for a
horrible
time,
man.
Scott, this one's to you. Oh, angry mom who confronted New York City Mayor Eric Adams on toddler mask mandate fired from her job with the city. Daniela Jampel, who served an assistant corporation counsel, learned that she was canned less than an hour after she confronted a caught off guard and apparently annoyed Adams about when he would unmask our toddlers. The mask mandate is still in effect for kids under 5 in New York City. And this was at the same time, Scott, that New York City put out an anti-Florida poster with the word gay all over it, saying, "Come to the city where you can say whatever you want." Really?
Yeah, that now I'm not going to say that there's a causatory relationship between these two events. It could just be correlation. But it seems a little fishy. I mean, maybe she just got done with her quarterly performance review and got low scores, and it just coincidentally they kicked out the email right after. Or she knew she was about to be fired and decided to take advantage of this opportunity to tell the mayor just what she thinks about the child mask mandate. I don't know if we'd think different of it if she had been insisting that children wear masks. If it had been on the other side. It doesn't look good. And we had great hopes for Eric Adams, even though he's a Democrat, because of his background in law enforcement, some of the things he said about education. And so and that still may be, I'm not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater and say just because he fired this clearly cranky person that I don't like him anymore. We'll see what he does over the course of his term. However, I do think in government, you need to mirror what you say you believe for the society. So if you say you want your city to be a place of free speech where, homosexuals are dancing down the street holding hands and just shouting the word gay over and over again, which is what the poster looks like, then you need to reflect that in the way you run your administration. And it does not seem like the Adams administration is being run that way if we're to extrapolate from this event.
Come to New York, where you can say gay, 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 gay all you want to, right up until the minute you're murdered. That's the city that you really want to move to.
Yeah, kind of off topic, I guess, but I didn't realize until I visited there with a girlfriend of mine years and years ago that Key West is probably the gayest place in the country outside of San Francisco. And it's just, we had so much fun there. Everybody was just friendly and
gay.
Warm.
Fantasy
Even though we were like the token straight couple at all the parties we went to. And I believe that the Governor DeSantis is sending in the National Guard to round them all up as we speak. Yeah. Bill, this one's for you. Palm Springs City Council votes in pilot scheme to pay 20 transgender residents up to $900 a month for 2 years in a universal basic income test. I don't know about you, but I'm thinking that for $900 a month, I could wear a skirt.
Yeah, a nice one.
Yeah.
At that rate,
you could buy from Target.
They're paying trans people $900 a month to what now? Just to be trans?
Just to be trans. It's one of these UBI, Universal Basic Income experiments. Except to qualify for this particular program, you either have to be trans or non-binary. And non-binary, anybody can claim to be non-binary.
Are you required not to work?
I didn't see that anywhere in the story.
Because if you're required not to work, I'm going to apply. This won't go on forever, and it can't. It's one of the things that Glenn says that it's so true. That which cannot go on will not go on, and I say we soak it up and Polaroid the whole thing while we can, because you just can't have a world that is this morally, logically, economically inverted. You just can't. You should be aware, rather not aware, you should beware of things like the basic minimum income, any kind of discussions like that, because that's the kind of talk about from people who are determined to make sure everybody gets that. Everybody gets that, and nothing else. So I don't know, Steve. I mean, what do you say? It's California, and and I'll let you know how things look from the bottom of the ocean when it slides into the sea, and there'll be a guy with a white beard and a staff standing there, and fire's going to come in. Actually, that guy might be me, come to think of it.
Steve, I'd like to think that there's going to come a day when we're going to look back on this period in our history and say, with some shame, remember back in those days when we decided to tell people who had serious mental illness that they were fine and everything was okay and they should just play that out in public as much as they possibly could, instead of treating them, instead of helping them, instead of providing counseling and developing ways to address what is a serious problem. I just think there's going to become a day where we're going to seem like monsters because we decided to pretend it was normal behavior instead of actually getting people the help they need.
Yeah, maybe we'll need to stick this one at that other video hosting site, but name me another condition that we treat by altering chemically or surgically the healthy tissue. Yeah, there isn't one. Scott, this one's for you. Radio station fires conservative host Amber Athey for racist joke about Kamala Harris's State of the Union pantsuit. And this is supposed to be a conservative radio station, WMAL in Washington, D.C. And let me share with you this racist joke.
Okay.
Kamala looks like a UPS employee. It was a brown pantsuit. What can brown do for you? Nothing good, apparently. Did you get the
Are you
racism
serious?
That's just a UPS slogan, isn't it?
Yes, it's the UPS slogan. Oh, man. I made Scott speechless.
And it's clearly about the pantsuit. I mean,
yes.
Like the joke is about the pantsuit. It's not saying that
and it was UPS brown.
And I'm sorry to do this, and we may have to bleep this out only because it may hurt too much, but they weren't saying when Kamala Harris is naked, she looks that way. They're saying she's wearing a pantsuit.
My eyes.
I'm sorry. There are, and let me just be clear about this. There are people who say and do racist things even today. There are nasty, bigoted, prejudiced, discriminatory people, not as many as there used to be and not as open as they used to be, but they're out there. And there are legitimate offenses that are committed against people simply because of the color of their skin. Go after those. Find somebody who's really racist. There's no insensitivity to telling a pantsuit joke. That's actually a pretty funny joke. And it's funny because it's funny that UPS has these brown uniforms, and that's like, it's an easily identifiable icon. What it does, every time these kind of things happen, every time there's outrage about some benign act or remark by somebody, it takes the focus off legitimate problems and makes it seem like this is the problem. And that hurts people who are actually hurting. That creates more injustice in a world where we say we seek justice.
Yeah, no,
and it's not a left-wing organization. It's not some woke organization. It's an apparently conservative website. Whoever it was who fired this person over that joke, well, then those people need to be stripped of that title and stripped of their listenerships as well, because that is the most. It's just totalitarian Stockholm syndrome nonsense. They should be ashamed of themselves.
I hope those kind of people are not shipping things in brown boxes anymore.
What did you say?
What does that say?
Scott, I'm sorry, but that kind of speech is intolerable here at BillWhittle.com. We find that kind of hate speech to be repugnant, and I'm very sorry to tell you that you're not fired.
Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty.
My friend and town hall colleague Larry O'Connor, who does mornings at WMAL, came out swinging in Amber's defense, and at this point, are they going to fire him for standing up for an employee they fired? Who knows? But I think Larry will come out on top. So will Amber with any luck here. All right, last headline is for me. 2 key executives quit Trump's Truth Social media on Monday. Reuters reported that Josh Adams and Billy Boozer, God, I wish I'd been named that. The Truth Chiefs of technology and product development have both left. It's unclear at this time whether they resigned voluntarily or were forced out. Listen, I really wanted Truth Social to work. I signed up for it on the very first day. They stuck me on a waiting list, which I didn't mind because sometimes these tech site rollouts, they get overwhelmed and they crash and burn at opening. So, okay, put me on a wait list. I'm fine. So on the wait list for 10 days, I finally get my my account approved. Well, the account sign up process was broken. They send you an email. Yeah. The email sends you a link to a web page. The web page doesn't work. You have to pull up the app on your iPhone. And at the time, there wasn't an Android phone app. But I thought, okay, all right, we've got some confusion here. We've got some growing pains. Whatever, they'll get through those. The direct messaging feature didn't work. The Android function didn't work. The web page didn't work. Nothing except the iPhone app worked. Well, 6 weeks later, here we are. The web page still doesn't work. The Android app is still non-existent. The rollout of new features has still not happened. So it comes as no surprise that the chiefs of technology and product development are both out. Again, I don't know if they were fired or not, but I think there's a lesson here. Trump should have fired them at the launch, before the launch, when it was clear that, well, they just couldn't handle the truth and they needed to be shown the door. And we saw this when Trump was president. He just didn't fire enough of these placeholders in Washington. If he does come back in 2024, I hope that's the lesson he takes to heart from 2020. All right, that was your lightning round. Hope you enjoyed it. To our sponsors at BillWhittle.com, thank you. You could become one of them yourself. Go to BillWhittle.com today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.